Hi, I'm Scott Rosenzweig, the president and CEO of Make-A-Wish Southern Nevada. And today, well, it's an incredible day. Every day is when we grant wishes, but even more so when we talk to our families that have been impacted by a wish. And I can't think of a family or two people who are closer to us and Make-A-Wish than Amanda and Brandon Taylor. They came into my life when I was still over the Wish department, and now as president and CEO, I am so honored and thrilled to call them not only Wish parents, but our friends. So thanks for taking time with us today.
Thank you. Pleasure.
So talk a little bit about Maddy's journey in the beginning.
Yes. So Maddie was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension when she was 3 years old. And it was never too much of an issue where she had some medications that she had to take. She would take those wonderfully, and she would start to get tired a lot. And she got tired a lot. Around 2019 was when we noticed some of those medications weren't working and that something needed to change. So in 2019, she was fitted with a subcutaneous medication.
So big words.
Yeah, really
Tell
big
us what
words.
that means.
So that was...
My Jewish mother wants me to be a doctor, but I'm not. So tell us what that really means.
Yeah, it's so she had to take specific oral pills, but then she also had a pump that was connected to her 24 hours a day. And she was amazing with this pump because she knew how to clean it. She knew how to change it. I would change the actual pump, what is it called?
The site?
The site, yeah. I was going to say the injection site.
Uh-huh.
The injection site, but she would do all the cleaning. She would put the whole thing together and everything. And she was so smart at 11 years old to be able to do all of these things. And so in 2019 was when that all kind of started to change. And she also needed oxygen around that time. And so in 2020 was when it got a little harder. It got a lot harder.
So talk to us a little bit about how you found. I knew you knew about Make-A-Wish already. So spoiler alert, both Amanda and Brandon worked around our offices for quite some time with Allegiant Airlines, who gives us our wonderful wishing plays. So I knew you before I knew you as Wish parents. And so I guess my question is I remember it vividly, but you tell us when you found out about that Maddie was eligible for a wish.
So it was so at the time I was working for the Learning and Development Department right here at Allegiant, which is right across the street. And we had the wonderful opportunity to come over here every orientation to introduce all of the new hires of Allegiant, whether they are pilots, flight attendants, or working in the corporate offices. We gave them the opportunity to understand what Make-A-Wish was and how special this nonprofit is for all types of children. So that's kind of how I learned about it. And then the actual story is really funny because I filled out the application while I was across the street at my cubicle. And maybe a couple of weeks later, I was over here at orientation, and I'm doing an orientation moment for the new hires, and I get a call, and I see that it's Make-A-Wish. And I'm right here in this building. And I pick up the phone, and I'm like, hello? And the volunteer was like, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm calling from Make-A-Wish, and I want to say that Maddie's wish is granted. And I look over, and I see someone on the phone over at the front desk. And I run over to her, and I go, hey, I'm Amanda. And she got so red. She's like, I think I'll hang up the phone now. And it was probably the first time where you get to see that reaction in person. Absolutely. And it was so wonderful. And then I got to share that with the new hires.
And I so distinctively remember you saying to me, Scott, I'm a Wish mom, almost surprised. And I was surprised, of course. And of course, the first thing that goes through my mind is awesome that you're a Wish mom. And then the other thing that goes through my head is, oh no, you're a Wish mom. So talk to us a little bit about the wish journey that you went on with us, and that Maddie went on with us.
Yes. So initially, Maddie wanted to go on a trip somewhere, right? And
Universal Studios.
I think it was Universal Studios. And then this happened to be in 2020. So we became Wish parents and a Wish family right in like February of 2020.
Good timing.
And wonderful timing. Wonderful timing. And so we had to, a couple of months later, we had the Wish Discovery and everything. And we really realized that a trip anywhere wasn't going to happen for a couple of years. And Maddie really wanted the Wish. And at that time, her pulmonary hypertension was getting really bad. And we didn't know exactly what was going to happen. And so we're like, no, we need to get this Wish taken care of. And we need to give Maddie something to look forward to and to give her some hope at this time. So she changed the Wish because her oldest sibling happened to be going off to college. And we had their rooms all set up, and Maddie and their youngest sibling were living together in the same room for 10 years. And Maddie was going into 6th grade. And so we were like, Maddie, what about a room makeover? She was like, yes, that would be amazing. So we ended up,
I can see her saying that.
Oh my gosh. She's like, oh, that's such a good idea. So she came up with so many great ideas and worked with
Jimmy, our volunteer.
Yeah.
All right, who's an interior designer who donates his time to do room makeovers. And so because it was COVID, we were doing virtual visits with her to look at her mood boards and what she wanted. But really, what I want to go back for just a second in what you said, because, as the president and CEO, what I always tell the board, our staff, our families, is that not on my watch is a kid going to wait one day longer than they have to for the hope that a Wish gives to them.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really an important thing that for Maddie and for you as a family that you knew it was time.
Yeah.
And I think so many people think, oh, well, it can only be the trip or it can only be this, but it's really bigger. It's about the hope.
It's about the hope.
And
That's so important.
Brendan, what did you see as Maddie was going through the planning process?
So, well, at that time, because of what was going on, I traveled a lot for work because of Amanda's current company that she works for. So as it was going through, Maddie would send me texts and she would send me a picture and she goes, hey, Jimmy's looking at this, or mom suggested this, or her youngest sibling, we call her Lolly. She goes, I want to try and do this. But every time that we texted back and forth, and I was like, make sure it's what you really want, because they will, to the best of their care and their knowledge and their ability, they will give you absolutely whatever you want. And whenever she texted me with something new, whether I was on the road or, here at home, she would stop and talk to me about it and ask me what I thought. And I had to remind her that it's all her.
Yeah.
So she never took it. I don't think her heart and her head ever thought of just Maddie. She thought of everybody else around, because I'm pretty sure if she put something up that didn't agree with Lolly, that Lolly would tell her and she'd be worried about it. So we constantly, every time we had a conversation, it was purely, this is all you, please.
This is for you.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the siblings and the impact that Maddie's illness had on them.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the Wish kid. It's not just the parents. There are siblings, right?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So Lolly always, it was kind of hard on them because, when Maddie would go into the hospital in 2019, we were in the hospital for a week and a half. And it was during that time, they were like, 9 or 10. And so they couldn't go to the hospital at all. So they were just at home waiting to find out, when is Maddie getting home? When is Maddie getting
That's the famous video.
Yeah. I have a couple of really good videos of when we came home and Lolly was, upstairs and Maddie screams, And you just see this kid running with tears, and Lolly's actually taller, a little bit taller than Maddie, and Maddie literally holds her and puts her head on her chest and just holds her like this, like she's 6 feet tall, and just holds on to her. And so that I have a couple of those videos.
I want those videos. I need
A couple of those videos after other events.
There is one, I think Maddie and I were in the hospital for like 2 weeks because
Yeah.
Amanda and I would take shifts.
Yeah.
And I can work on 2 hours of sleep. So, but I was there in the evening and Amanda took the day shift. And so I was at home with Maddie, and Rhiannon, or Lolly, came through the door and instantaneously saw Maddie, and it was a 40-yard dash right to her. And same thing, Maddie never wanted Lolly to feel that Maddie needed taken care of. Maddie wanted Lolly to feel that she was taking care of her.
Yeah.
That's who Maddie was.
Yeah.
For all of us.
It really was.
Let's talk a little bit about Wish Day.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we go in as the elves that we are with Jimmy and our group of volunteers.
Oh.
Talk to us a little bit about how we got you guys out of the house for a little bit. All the really important details. that we-
Fresh
Oh
in.
my goodness.
Right.
Yeah, we it's so hard to even remember a lot of that day.
All of us showed up here.
Yeah.
Percy was here,
right.
Lolly was
Right.
here.
Yep.
All of us were here, and the congratulations, your wish has been granted.
Yeah.
Granted, it was during the time, but everybody that showed up with the sign and Maddie, if you ask her, she'll be like, yeah, I was there, I was cool. But you could see it in her, and part of her voice too. She was happy to be here and see all the excited stuff, but it also hit her heart. Yeah. And that's that wish day. She talked about it constantly. I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to do this. Jimmy, I'm going to work real close, and we're going to make it all my own now. And then, of course, it went down as, each day that she met with them to go over, hey, we can do this. We can get this piece of art. We can do this, whatever that cat lamp was.
Yes, the cat lamp. Yeah, and I think you bring up a really good point, right? Like, so many people think that hope only happens the day of a wish. But, I watch them as they begin through the child's, and I like to say we give kids a voice and a choice, right? Because parents are telling them what to do, teachers are telling them what to do, doctors are telling them what to do. But a wish is a kid's alone, sort of like you said, Brennan, that how many times you had to remind her that it was hers alone. And so I think it finally gives them, once they get in the swing of it,
right?
I think it gives them a voice and a choice that they don't have in other aspects of their life. And I think it's so important to give that to these kids because of everything that they're going through. They have to get so much more mature. They're cleaning out a pump at 11 years old.
Yeah.
Like, who would think that's something, right? Yeah. Keeping track of meds. Who would think that an 11-year-old knows how to do all of that or should, and we know they shouldn't be doing it, but they have to. So I think it's really important that hope isn't the day of a wish. It's the day you find out you're getting a wish. So talk a little bit about when Maddie saw the room for the first time.
Oh my goodness.